Number 1. Mercedes-Benz. Half of this name is fairly obvious. Its founder, Carl Benz, lent his last name to the company he founded with his wife Bertha in 1883. But originally the company was called Benz and Cie. So where did Mercedes come from? Separately from Benz, but during a very similar time frame, another German chap by the name of Gottlieb Daimler began producing cars under the moniker Daimler Motorengesellschaft, DMG. In 1897, an Austrian businessman named Emil Jelinek became one of the first Daimler customers, and began a long relationship between him and the company. Jelinek pushed Daimler to build better, faster cars that he could sell, and eventually turned his attention to motor racing, where he would race under the pseudonym Mercedes, which was the name of his daughter. In 1900 the first Daimler Mercedes was created, a 35 bhp race car that was built in collaboration with Jelinek to dominate the 1901 Nice Week. It was virtually unstoppable, driving sales of the car and cementing the Mercedes name. After the First World War, DMG and Benz and Cie staved off economic ruin by creating a syndicate, and in 1926 the pair merged to create Daimler-Benz AG, with the new company's logo using Daimler's trade name Mercedes. Now, Daimler AG is the automotive corporation that owns multiple companies, including Mercedes-Benz. Number 2. Audi. Audi's founder went by the name of August Horch. He'd been working under Carl Benz, but in 1899 broke off to do his own thing. He started a company called A. Horch and Cie Motorwagen Werke, but after a decade he broke away after falling out with his business partners. He started a new automotive company in Zwickau, Germany. However, his name was already taken and trademarked by his previous company. The solution? Horch, which means listen or more literally hark when translated into English, chose the Latin translation of his name, which is Audi. The four-ringed logo comes from the 1932 merger of four German car makers, Audi, Horch, DKW, and Wanderer, to form Auto Union. After World War II, Auto Union was disbanded, but eventually grew again out of a replacement parts depot in Ingolstadt, Germany. In 1958, an entrepreneur called Friedrich Flick joined forces with Daimler AG to purchase Auto Union, before Volkswagen bought control of the company in 1964. To herald the new era of automobiles from the company, VW decided to ditch the Auto Union name, and went with Audi, while retaining the four rings symbol. Number 3. Nissan. Nissan. How these 10 popular car manufacturers got their names. General Nissan started out in 1914 as Dat Motorcar, using the first initials of the three founders' names. Elsewhere, in 1928, a businessman named Yoshisuke Ikawa created a company called Nippon Sanjo. Number 4. Toyota. Toyota didn't start out as a car company. It wasn't called Toyota, either. In 1926, Sakashi Toyoda founded the Toyota Automatic Loom Works, a company that made looms, not cars. In 1933, Toyota's son Kiichiro started a separate motors division, and the company's cars quickly took off. How did the name get from Toyota to Toyota, though? In 1936, the company held a competition to design a new logo, and the winner consisted of the three Japanese characters that made up the Toyota name. However, after giving it some thought, the Toyota family decided that the slightly tweaked Toyota was stronger. Writing out Toyota required 9 brush strokes, whereas Toyota only required 8, a lucky number in Japan. Plus, the name just sounded better, so Toyota. Number 5. Honda. Honda bears the name of its founder, Sashiro Honda. Honda was a precocious mechanic who started the Honda Motor Co. Limited in 1946 to build small motorcycles. Although the motorcycle business got off to a slow start, by the 1960s the business had become one of the world's largest manufacturers of bikes. In 1963, Honda introduced its first production automobile, the Honda T360 pickup truck. Number 6. Ferrari. What does Ferrari mean in English? Ferrari is one of the most common surnames in Italy, and derives from the name Ferraro, which means blacksmith. Ferrari also shares the same root as the Latin ferrum, which means iron. Given the prevalence of the name in Italy, it could be considered equivalent to Smith in the United States, though there are obviously no Smith supercars. Ferrari's Formula One racing team is called Scuderia Ferrari, with Scuderia translating from Italian as stable. There's an obvious connection between this and the carmaker's iconic prancing horse logo. Scuderia Ferrari is also one of the most storied racing teams in the world, With over 90 years of history,